It was a very dark night, its colors different to the usual ones, since the moon was shining with a red blood color. Looking at that night sky was a true spectacle, but my mind was somewhere else. Those trees were so tall and had so many thin branches that they looked like shadows. And those shadows were coming after me. Or at least, that's how it felt. I was very scared and completely confused because I couldn't remember anything of what happened. I had no idea how I had got to that forest, nor why did I emerge from the depths of that cold river. I walked aimlessly for a long time and I felt my body was getting way too light, as if it was completely empty. I went across the lakes and pastures of that region, which I found pretty easy to do, as if I had been doing it all my life. And it was precisely in those waters where, unintentionally, I saw my reflection. It took me a while to process what I was seeing, since my reflection showed a completely different version of me. That person wasn't familiar to me. Now, I had very long black hair, but what really stood out was how I no longer had any facial features. My face was completely blank. After witnessing that, absolute horror took over me. Although, only for a moment. As incredible as it may seem, I soon got used to my new reality. I was no longer afraid to touch my new face, with no signs of eyes, nose, or mouth. I soon realized that despite that, I could still see and breathe with no issues. How could that be? I also noticed my new attire. They were clothes I would normally never wear, and I don't remember ever owning them. I also couldn't remember what I was wearing when I arrived at that place, but I was sure I wouldn't put on such a tight black suit. Something else that caught my attention was how I had not eaten anything in a very long time, but I felt no hunger regardless. As I got more and more used to my new reality, I felt more comfortable in that forest. I've always been scared of dark places with no people, but for the first time in a long time, I felt safe. A feeling of safety and love inundated my surroundings as I observed every leaf that fell to the ground. Those trees, scary to me at first, became my friends and protectors who would always offer me a place to hide. And then, out of a sudden, I experienced a new feeling. I needed to find a person, although I didn't completely understand why. I headed to the roadside and I hid behind the bushes to wait for a car to appear. It didn't take long for the first vehicle to show up. A blue car was coming closer in the distance and I could distinguish its front lights perfectly. I waited patiently, and once it got close enough, I jumped to the road, placing myself right in front of that common vehicle. The blue car, trying to evade me, ended up flying off and doing turns in the air until landing in the depths of the forest. When I saw it, I rushed towards it, pushed by a devouring instinct that also seemed strange and unfamiliar to me. When they saw me, the people from the vehicle tried to flee in horror. They were on the floor, injured and crawling in desperation, but I wouldn't allow them to escape. Long tentacles emerged from my back, which little by little ended up destroying each and every one of them. I heard them crying and screaming in pain as I crushed them with my strength. This sensation was incredible. I was enjoying myself like never before in my life. Soon after, I realized that an unconscious girl was still in the car. With the screams of her companions, she started to wake up, looking completely confused. They were her family, and the first thing she did was scream, asking for their whereabouts. I carefully got closer, and she looked at me directly. And although she was surprised at first, she then seemed to no longer care. And as if nothing happened, she asked my name. My name is Slenderwoman, I told her. That was the first time I pronounced out loud and heard my new voice. That girl with her sweet face responded, My name is Alondra, although I like to be called Aloe. Pleased to meet you, friend. I was paralyzed. She didn't see me as a monster, but as a normal woman. I grabbed her hand, and as we vanished in the night's fog, we talked about many things. Her kindness saved her, for now. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.